Well, hello, my soul friends. I get so excited when I start these videos. Actually, the truth is I get nervous and then I just tell myself I'm excited. I'm still getting used to talking to the camera and hope that my heart and soul can reach out to you there watching, you there scrolling, you there just popping on this video and deciding if you want to watch or not. Stay with me, okay? We're going to talk about love today. How are you doing with your love story? And how are you doing with your self-love, your self-care? The reason why we're talking about it, I don't know where to look right now because my camera is doing a funky thing. I used to look straight ahead and could see you, but I think if I look straight ahead, I'm not making eye contact. So if I look over here, I can make eye contact. So there's a lot of wonky things going on right now. Have you noticed? So let's pause together. Let's take some time to just be, to connect to ourselves, to connect to our souls. That's what we do here on the Soul Nurture channel. I'm Victoria. I am the soul guide for this channel. And at this time, I'm the soul, S-O-L-E guide. I hope to inspire and train future soul nurturers. It's something I've been visioning for and planning for. So somewhere in the future, I get a lot of people who contact me that are drawn to my work and say, I want to do what you do. And I've inspired a lot of people in my private practice to reach out to their soul potential and do similar things, and helping people connect to their potential and clear the way from the subconscious blocks and live their best life, right? So I love what I do, and I'm loving that you're here. And if this is your first time here, please do stick around and subscribe if you're called to. I hope so. I'm at 887 when I'm recording this, and I can't wait to find out who is number 888 of my subscribers. So comment if you are. If you notice you click on subscribe and it turns to 888, let me know who you are. Okay? Sometimes I get notifications, but not always. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Pause with me. Reconnect to yourself. So let's take a moment together as I get really wired up when I sit down to do these videos. I get so excited because I have so much to share. I've been working in this capacity as a soul guide, as a transformational hypnotherapist. Now I'm a Jungian-based spiritual director, and many other trainings I've had. Believe me, since I was 15, trying to navigate my own world and learning through books, finding Wayne Dyer at 17 and Louise Hay at 17. They were my spiritual mother and father to help me know that there was so much more than where I felt at that time, stuck, limited, insecure, not good enough, all that old stuff. So I've done my own work, my own soul work, and continue to do so. I mean, I want to say this straight away. There's no done place. You're not done. Transformation, healing, expanding your soul potential is like a spiral. You start in this small little space, and when we start there, we keep bumping into our wounded places. We keep bumping into the same issues, and then you get some more awareness and some more guidance and some more healing, and so you expand a little bit more out in that spiral, and you're still going to hit that spot where you're wounded, those old spots or landscape of the bumpy places in your childhood, but you have more awareness and more healing to meet yourself as you navigate those places. So, okay, I'm going off on a tangent. I'm here to talk about Venus retrograding on July 22nd, the day I'm recording this, and it'll be in retrograde until September 3rd. I feel like when I was thinking about or feeling into what this would be like for us collectively, I think I've already been doing this for the last 2 weeks. I'll tell you more about that in a moment. But Venus retrogrades every 18 months. And so you may think back to 18 months ago. What was going on with you? What were you, when we think of retrogrades, we think of the RE words. What was up on your screen, in your life review screen of connected to issues of love, self-worth, value, how you value yourself, who values you, who doesn't value you, old relationship issues, issues with money, creativity, feeling blocked, and also Venus retrograde. So this is, every 18 months, but every 8 years, I think it is, it goes back into, so in 2015, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, 2015, Venus was retrograding in Leo as it is right now. So Leo, Venus, that's a whole nother filter to look through. All things Leo, where are you not the queen of your life? Where are you not, or the king, or the person of your life? And where have you not, or where have you put your hopes and dreams and desires on hold and forgot about them, or forgot about the things that you thought you'd be doing, or the things you loved when you were a child? This is about inner child work too. So it's a time, as we know the RE words, to review, reflect, revisit, reevaluate, and my favorite, revision. And how do we revision? Well, we dust off our dreams and our desires and we pull them front and center. And we also look at what isn't working, where we do feel stuck, and what patterns connected to love and self-worth and money are on repeat, and we're not liking what's repeating. Time to do our inner work, to reclaim potential, to reclaim some positive core beliefs that will support the foundational beliefs that will support new and healthy patterns. So the other thing interesting about a Venus retrograde is it's about a 40-day cycle. So think about, I know a lot of my Christian friends have a reference to the symbology of 40. It's well, Jesus went out into the wilderness where he fasted for 40 days and he was tempted by the devil. I think that's interesting because during this 40-day period of a Venus retrograde, we may hear from past loves. We may be tempted. We may be tempted to contact them ourselves. So I want to talk about these things, okay? So stay with me. Please do comment along this video as I go through what I have to share with you, what's on my heart to share with you. And comment, like, share the video, share a clip if you feel called to as well. If you notice, I have some beautiful flowers here because I really want to emphasize self-love, because that is the key to all healthy relationships. You have a healthy relationship with yourself, you can cultivate or call in healthier relationships. And the cool thing is, if you're in partnership, as you continue to do your inner work and continue to reclaim your soul potential, connect to your inner child, love and just celebrate yourself, accept yourself fully, that is contributed to the shared space you share with your partner. It's like they get, as you upgrade, they get the upgrade too, right? And I always say this for moms and dads, and family members for that regard. But when you do your inner work and you upgrade, you increase your self-worth, everybody that you're connected to gets an upgrade, So I should start at the top of this, to just assess yourself in this moment and be honest with yourself. You don't have to comment, but let me know on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being really good, super strong, 1 not so much, right? Where is your level of self-worth and valuing who you are? It's a good place to check, because if you're not valuing yourself and you have a low self-worth, this is the time to heal that, and to know you can't expect others to give to you where you're not offering to yourself, right? So I would then ask, what's your level of self-love? Is it a 10 and you just are rocking your world and it's reflected in everything you do, or are you a 1? Again, this Venus retrograde is an opportunity to increase your self-love. How do you know if you love yourself? How are you taking care of yourself? How are you taking care of your life? What is the external reflecting back to you? Remember, everything on the external is reflecting back your inner world and the way that you are taking care of yourself in your inner world, or not, right? Okay, so the other thing that I want to connect to this theme of this time is that the nodes just recently on the new moon moved in, or moved out of North Node in Taurus to North Node in Aries. Remember, the nodes go backwards. So they're now North Node in Aries and South Node in Libra. What is this axis? That Aries North Node is all about me. What am I doing with my life? And, you know, Aries energy is really self-promoting, self-reliant, self-focused. And this is not a bad thing, right? We have this really old fear of being selfish. But with this collective transit for 18 months also, 18 months they'll be in these nodes, it is a time to shed codependent patterning. You can watch my new moon in Cancer that I did the other day, because I talked a little bit more about that. And even though the new moon is past, there's still some things I talked about there that might be relevant to you. And you know what's so funny? I have to share this right straight away. Okay, so I've got my computer here where my notes are, and I pulled my little desk forward, and I've been shedding and clearing old books, and I didn't even realize I put this book on my desk when I sat down to do the video. This is an oldie but goodie. But if you have any issues with self-worth, codependency, and this is specifically speaking to women, but I think it's relevant to anyone, as you know, non-gender, anyone. But you know, she does, I mean, the title is Women Who Love Too Much by Robin Norwood. This is one of my go-to books, or was. I'm happily married now and have done a lot of inner work to get here. But this book found me, or called to me, when I was going through a very difficult time. I was in an abusive relationship, and I kept, as many of us do, trying to figure out how to fix it, how to make it better. And I'll never forget, at this time, I want to share this with you for anyone this might help. And if it does speak to you, let me know. I was also in the middle of my spiritual practitioner training at Agape, and doing my spiritual work, and really, really practicing acceptance, which is a big spiritual principle, right? And I remember one teacher I was working with at the time said to me, while I was in this abusive relationship where I had lost myself, and truly this video is for anyone that is feeling stuck, lost in relationship, or longing for a relationship and feeling very disconnected from yourself and your own self-love and your own self-worth and your inner child, which I want to talk more about in a moment. Anyway, I was so stuck with, I need to accept him and just love him and just worry about myself. But she said to me something so profound. She said, you really are, she said, I see your commitment to your spiritual journey. And, you know, this was about 26 years ago. And I see you growing and practicing and doing all the things. And I know you have a vision for where you want to get to and who you want to be there. I said, yeah, thank you for saying that. And then she said, how fast do you think you'll get there carrying someone on your back? Woo, boom. I was like, what? I was so stuck in the spiritual principle of acceptance that I had, and with my unconscious patterning of being a codependent, I had twisted acceptance into totally still being in a codependent relationship. And then as that window opened, the awareness window opened, I also had this that came to me in meditation around the same time, which I share with you too, because we can really stumble with acceptance. And that was, if accepting someone else means rejecting any part of you, that is not okay. Woo! Another clear moment of soul guidance. So, straight off, that's the place for you to review. Are you rejecting yourself to be with someone else? Are you rejecting yourself, hiding in hopes to find someone because you don't honor who you are, you don't love who you are, you don't feel worthy enough to be seen as who you are? This is where you need to heal, my soul friend, okay? And I do know this journey, and I love love, and I love helping people reconnect to their own self-love And I love helping people move towards healthy love and relationship. But it starts with you. So my website is in the description if you want to reach out for a consultation, or just book a session. It's so funny. I have more people now. I was getting all these consultation requests, and then they're like, I just think I want to just book with you. Let's just do this. I'm like, good for you. Say yes to you. Okay. So I want to make sure I have time, because I may, if I have time, go around the houses to talk about where this might be connected to you. So straight off the top, if I don't get to this, what I'm talking about is the collective transit. But to know where specifically these issues are going to be brought to more light in your natal chart, and which house it's going to be. Say, for instance, if it's in your 4th house, it would be a review of how you're taking care of your home, and does your home reflect? Is a place where you feel taken care of and loved, and do you have things surrounding you that you love? And reviewing things connected to the roots of what you learned about love. What did you learn about love from your family of origin? Okay, so if I have time, I'll do that. And if not, call me, request a consult or request a session, and we can talk. Okay, so let's see. I talked about the nodes, and Venus and Leo, and please do tell me how you've been feeling. We are going through another a wave of intensity, which, we've had Sun opposite Pluto on the new moon. It was opposite the moon. Pluto was opposite the moon. So we've had this intensity of transformational energy, and also getting to the bottom of things. So I guess right here, I'll tell you what I've been doing, and then I'll go over more of the themes of this Venus new moon. My husband went away for 2 weeks, and I had wanted to work on my project. I'm writing a book, and it's a slow grind. It has been a slow grind. And I thought, all right, taking this time. I blocked out 2 weeks to do that project. So you know what I did the first week? Codependency issues die hard, and people-pleasing issues take a long time to get shed. So I cleared 2 weeks, but then I had clients that wanted sessions, so I booked them in the first week that was going to be all mine. But I still was moving into self-care, and still was savoring the time with me. Wasn't writing, but then I noticed, the clutter in my house was really getting to me. Not just the clutter, but like things in our garage that were just packed in there. And every time I sat down to write, I just kept thinking, no, you have to clear this stuff, the foundational stuff that's in the way of what you want to bring forward creatively. And then I got into it, and I've just been purging and purging and purging. And so I think that was foreshadowing what this retrograde Venus is going to be like, because in addition, Mars is in Virgo. Mars in Virgo is like extreme awareness of what's out of order in your life, or in your relationships, or your relationship with yourself. I mean, I invite you to be really compassionate and gentle with yourself as you do this work, as I had to be, because honestly, it was it's been an area of shame, how much clutter I've had, how much I've been neglecting some things I've had to take care of in terms of stuff. But here's again the filter to look through with gentleness and compassion. Walk around your house and ask yourself, is the way I have my house set up, is this reflecting that I love myself, or am I discounting myself, neglecting myself, or not taking care of myself? All these things are our house, our car, do we keep it tidy, do we not? These are reflections, not to shame, because believe me, I have a clutter issue in terms of like my car. I'm a gypsy. I always have like, a blanket and snacks and all kinds of stuff in my car, not necessarily organized, and that's okay. But I also noticed it was a way just to keep me in. I don't want anyone in my car. I don't want anybody in my house. And I'm really being super transparent here. I think coming out of the pandemic, I realized I really like being with myself or with my husband. So having extra clutter and mess in the house was like, well, nobody can come over, and I'm really outing myself here, But for the last 2 weeks, I've just been purging deeply, deeply diving into stuff. So I wonder if you felt that similar call. And if you haven't, ask yourself again, look around your house and look around your life and say, how can I love myself better? Again, I want to shout out to Miley Cyrus's video, the song, Flowers, because it's so poignant. It's so spot on. You know, if you're in a relationship and you're feeling disappointed, well, don't end the relationship necessarily. I mean, this is a time to review it, but it's more about what can you do to love yourself better. Teaching people that you're worthy of being loved in the way you desire. We must teach people how to treat us and how to be with us. And a lot of this stuff is unconscious though. So again, being gentle. The relationship you're in, or where, if you're single and maybe you're reviewing a breakup, this is a time just to be gentle and say, okay, I wonder what unconscious patterns are at play in me. What did I learn from my mom or my dad, or the relationships I witnessed when I was little and impressionable? And how was it familiar or similar to what I just experienced? This is that time to review and reclaim what it is you desire and deserve and are worthy of. Okay. All right. So let's just see. Okay. So we're reviewing our love story. What I mean by love story is how we love ourselves, how we love others, and how we're loved by others. What I just said, what you learned about love. And it's a time to reconnect to your inner child. And, you know, it dawned on me, occasionally I do work with couples, not often, because I like to work one-on-one with people, because the work I do is all about personal responsibility. So I can't work with somebody. I mean, if somebody's coming to me and they just want to complain about their partner, I'm like, what does it mean about you? Because the partner is just reflecting you. What does it mean about you? We cannot change other people. We can only change ourselves, right? But I realize, I guess, in my own relationship, and I reflect back to the very beginning with my husband, and this may sound silly. If you don't understand inner child work, you might be like, that sounds kooky. I'm telling you, it's powerful. First of all, you have to reclaim your inner child and love your inner child and reclaim all the joy you had when you were younger and all the things that you loved and all the things you desire to do. This is a perfect time to do this. But what's powerful is if your partner can not only meet or see your inner child, your younger self, but they also fall in love with your inner child. And this is so healing. Like, my husband can see when I'm in my little girl space. He sees her and he loves her. And I love his little boy. I can see him too. And I remember one time, this is kind of an aside, but it was so healing for anyone out there who doesn't have kids. Like, I did want kids. I really did. And then, just long story short, we didn't have kids. But I always got the question about, you know, we all do. How many kids do you have? Do you have kids? Why didn't you have kids? Oh, that would just like devastate me. Be careful with that question with people, because you may be asking somebody who's been trying to have kids and it's kind of a hard thing. So be gentle how you ask that question, or let them tell you, for, you know, probably the best way to go. Anyway, we were at a party or somewhere, not a party. We don't go to a party. We're not partying people. We're gathering with people who are heart and soul kindred spirits. And we got the question, do you guys have kids? And I was like, about to answer, knowing that when I answered, I'd get the why not question. And my husband, the protector, jumps in and he says, yes, we do. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he points to me and he says, we have a little girl, and then he points to himself, and we have a little boy, and they keep us very busy. And that was such healing medicine for me. And it is so very true, because I'm very much aware of my inner child, and he is too, and he's aware of his inner child. And my little girl really needed a whole lot of love and a whole lot of healing. So there's something there. Okay. So reclaiming inner child, creativity, what you value. I already talked about that. And what you love that you've left behind. I don't mean a person, but I'm going to talk about that in a second. But what you love that you've left behind, like something you desired, a dream, a hobby, something that brought you joy, something you thought you'd do, but you left it behind as you got into your conditioned you know, limited lane, like I'm doing only this. Remember that at any time you need to begin again and reclaim, you can. And if you're not experiencing joy in your life, you've probably disconnected from the things that brought you joy as a child. So something to think about during this time, self-expression. Where have you denied what you really want to say and what you really want to express? Do you want to sing? Do you want to write? Do you want to do stand-up? Or where have you been holding back your authentic, true nature expression in your partnership or when you're dating? Remember, you know what? I always say to young women, bring all of your authenticity at the very beginning. Don't hide behind who you think that you should be or who you think they want you to be. You're going to waste your time. You want someone who falls in love with your soul, with all of you, all of your flaws and perceived flaws and all of you, where you have nothing to hide and everything you share is accepted and loved. That's what I wish for you, my friends. That's what I have. And it's the greatest. And I worked for it. I'm not going to lie. I had to do a lot of inner work. I had to go into my love story file and completely disassemble it and then recreate a new one. Okay. So up-leveling self-worth, talked about that. Purging and getting clear on what we need and what we value. And then also during this time, you want to watch any overspending, especially if you've got it twisted, tied into, like I hear sometimes people will say, I'm worth that. I'm worth that. I'm going to go splurge on myself. I'm worth it. But maybe you can't afford it at this time. And you end up hurting yourself, getting yourself in debt, or like having the buyer's remorse, or, you know, and also, you know, what is that? Retail therapy is a short, it's like an addiction too. You get that euphoric high about, oh, I got this, and maybe I look good in this blouse, or whatever you do. This isn't the time for that. I mean, if you've been thinking about purchasing something or something that you want to do for yourself, I mean, I would definitely say careful with things that are, you know, sudden, like, oh, I really want to do this, or cut my hair, or pause. Retrogrades invite us to slow our roll, slow it down before you take that action. So let's see, reviewing who values us and who does not. And this is a hard wake-up call, especially if you're trying to get out of codependent ways or people-pleasing, to assess, not out of, I mean, with that Mars and Virgo, we can have super discernment right now. And to be real and honest, it can be painful if you realize you're the one in the relationship. And I'm not talking just about intimate relationships. I'm talking about friendships and even family. If you're the one that's only holding the space for the nurturing, the love, and all the stuff that you want, you're giving, but you're not getting, you might want to reevaluate that or have a conversation about that. So again, ending codependency tendencies. You can choose this now. And I would encourage you to read that book I just mentioned, Women Who Love Too Much. It's excellent. Or anything by Melody Beattie. Okay. So does your life reflect your true nature and what you love and what brings you joy? Again, I'm repeating these, but these are my notes. I want to make sure we got this. If not, this is what's up for review. Okay. So just think about, you're going back to school to revisit love, all about love, not the like fantasy love, but what's real and true for you. And how do you know that? It's what you admire in relationships that other people have, that you go, you know, I see a lot of hashtag relationship goals. Well, those relationship goals are calling you back to updating your subconscious mind programming, to claim your worth and deservability, and also letting your subconscious mind know that it's safe to have what you desire. This is key. Fall in love with yourself and reclaim your soul potential. And so do things that are like, buy yourself some flowers, take yourself out to dinner, take care of your home, take care of your heart, take care of your inner child. Okay. So I wanted to talk about this. I'm not going to be able to go through the houses. I'm already at almost 30 minutes. Okay. But I did want to talk to you about this. Oh, first this. Also, if you are in a relationship, yes, relationships are up for review, but it could be, it's not a bad thing. It could be like this, because relationships, let's face it, long-term relationships, we can get stuck in ruts. We can get stuck in our unconscious patterning. And we need to keep it fresh. You know, if you think you know your partner, then you have to get to know them over again. Because if your partner and if you are continuing to grow and unfold and emerge more of who you are, then you get to know that person all over again. But also, I would say, go back, imagine, feel into, or even talk about it with your partner. Do you remember when we first met? Or think about when you first fell in love and that blissed out phase you were in, you know how yummy that is? And then we kind of don't stay there. We go into our unconscious stuff, and then suddenly we're projecting all our stuff on our partner, and they're projecting their stuff on you, and it gets challenging, right? So that blissful moment, what I believe, is God showing us the potential of our person and the potential of us. Because, you know, we do come to full capacity when we're conscious and we're bringing our best, but then we slide back into unconscious patterns and we go back into our unconscious programmed love story. This is what happens, right? I mean, this is what I've studied and learned and been finding with all the work I've done on myself and with my clients over 20,000 years now. I used to say 20 plus years. I honestly, 27, I don't know, a long time that I can tell you I know what I'm talking about. So think about that and fall back in love with that potential, and then find out where you guys both went unconscious and make a recommitment. Commit to the things that were important to you at the beginning of your relationship that kind of like went in the shadow and you want to reclaim and start again. So this retrograde is a good time to restart, right? So okay, now here's what I wanted to tell my single soul friends out there. During a Venus retrograde, this could be a time when past loves, and I will say past loves or experiences that we used to do, or maybe people we used to hang out with, or hobbies we used to do. But let's just focus on the exes for a minute here. Whew, I just got hot talking about this. Okay. You may possibly, so be prepared and decide before you respond how you're going to respond or not respond. Your ex-partners or ex-lovers may contact you. They may show up. You may run into them unexpectedly. Or you may feel the urge to reach out. So I want to caution you on that. Before if you get the urge, or it's like you're obsessing about an ex or a person and, oh, we never had, closure, and I really wish I could talk about this. Caution and pause. Here's my caution. If that's coming from a wounded place in you, like, oh, if only I talked to them, then I'll feel better. Or if only I could hear their voice, then I would believe it was real. Whatever that is. The wounded self, do not reach out to your ex-partner. Reach in to your own heart, to your own love. Let that be a reminder that you're needing to heal more. It's not a time to reach out now. And the way of knowing it is you feel like you need something from them in order to feel whole, to feel complete. Okay, Jerry Maguire, you complete me. That's like, I would like to redo that, because that is the biggest codependent belief ever. You complete me. No, you complete yourself and let your partner come alongside of you and shine. So it activates more of your ability to shine more of who you are. Okay. Okay. Now, if you feel like you've checked in and you're like, okay, I'm in a good place. I feel really strong. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. I guess I'm going to keep saying that. I love my life. I love myself. I love what I'm up to now. I love how far I've grown, how far I've come, how much I've grown. And I really just want to honor the relationship that we did have. I think that's okay. If you want to write a note, a text, or even call to say, you know what? I'm in a really good place, and I just wanted to thank you. Oh, I'm going to cry. This feels so beautiful. I just want to thank you for our time together and how the love we shared and how much you were part of my life. And here's the thing, your exes, especially if they were impactful relationships where you were married or engaged or really thought this was your person, and circumstances, the universe, God said, no, not this lifetime. You can love and honor the time you had, and it's always going to be part of your tapestry. So only if you feel healed enough and whole enough, and that you can imagine having that conversation and hanging up the phone and thinking, okay, we're complete, I may never talk to that person again, then go ahead and reach out. But do not reach out with any expectations. That's just my cautionary message. Like, oh, maybe now they'll see how awesome I am. Listen, if they didn't, they probably did see how awesome you were, but weren't at the time in their life where they could receive your awesomeness, or they were called to something else on their own soul journey, and it has nothing to do with you. So, if you're still wounded from a breakup, love yourself more, love yourself better, and work with me if you need support. Okay. All right. So I'm sorry I don't have time to get to all the houses in general. You're just going to look where it's happening. If it's in your first house, second house, third house. Okay. Well, I don't have time. I was going to try. See, I'm such a people pleaser. And I don't mind it if I'm giving from my overflow and my joy, but reach out to me if you'd like me to look at your chart with you and see where this is happening. We have 40 days. And this is a good time. Maybe in the 40 days or whenever you decide to start, maybe do a 21-day reset and start with self-love, and maybe every day 5 things you love and value about yourself, and review what it would look like if you were leading with your own self-worth and self-love and teaching people to value you. What would be different? And yeah, let me know how that goes. All right. Sending you so much love, and really enjoy this journey. Enjoy this review time, and may it help you reclaim so much of your soul potential, inviting you to fall in love with that inner child. You may even want to take out a picture of your younger self and imagine them with you in your heart at this time. Okay, take good care until next time, and reach out for support if you need it. And please comment and subscribe and like. Okay, so much love, sending it your way. Receive it and cultivate more for you. Okay, bye for now. I feel like I could talk all day, but I need to go. Bye.